crocodile eggs collected in remote wetlands, hatchlings raised in climate-controlled farms, skins treated in European tanneries, and artisans hand-stitching for weeks to produce one flawless bag. This story is not only about fashion, it's about conservation, economics, and ethics. Do luxury handbags represent sustainability or cruelty? By the end, you'll decide for yourself. Would you pay $50,000 for a handbag made from crocodile leather? Leave your thoughts in the comments. We begin our story with crocodiles that was near extinction to conservation success. 50 years ago, crocodiles were nearly wiped out. In Australia's Northern Territory, hunters supplied the global trade in exotic leather. Saltwater crocodiles, prized for their belly skin, were shot in huge numbers. By the early 1970s, there were only about 3,000 left in the wild. Governments faced a dilemma: ban hunting completely or lose the species forever. They chose protection. Hunting was outlawed, but conservationists took it a step further. Instead of treating crocodiles as pests, they treated them as valuable assets. The new model linked economics with ecology. Crocodiles were farmed and their eggs were collected under quotas. And the profits were shared with indigenous landowners whose territories are the heart of crocodile habitat. The result? Populations bounced back. Today, there are more than 100,000 wild saltwater crocodiles in northern Australia. It's one of the most successful conservation recoveries in the world. How are eggs collected in the wild? Every year during the wet season between November and March, female crocodiles build nests. Each mound of mud and vegetation holds 30 to 50 eggs. The nests are guarded aggressively. A mother croc will charge anything that comes near. Licensed collectors, often including indigenous rangers, head into remote swamps by helicopter or boat. They work fast and carefully. Each egg is fragile. If turned upside down, the embryo inside can die instantly. So every egg is marked with a pencil before lifting to make sure it stays in the same orientation. On average, 70,000 eggs are collected each year in Australia under a quota system. It's not a free-for-all. Strict rules mean only a portion of nests are touched, while others are left untouched to replenish the wild. Farms also release some hatchlings back into the wetlands to keep genetic diversity strong. This system does more than supply farms. It creates jobs, generates millions in exports, and provides royalties to indigenous landowners. It gives locals a reason to protect crocodiles and their habitat instead of seeing them as dangerous nuisances. Once collected, the eggs are taken to hatcheries. These are high-security, climate-controlled facilities designed to maximize survival. Each egg is placed in an incubator where temperature and humidity are monitored constantly. Temperature is everything. Around 31.6 degrees Celsius produces mostly males. Cooler or hotter ranges lead to more females. Farmers control ratios depending on production goals. Males grow larger, giving bigger skins. Females are kept for breeding. In the wild, fewer than 1 in 4 eggs hatch. In farms, success rates climb to 85 or even 90%. That means thousands of healthy crocodiles entering the production system every year. Incubation lasts 65 to 90 days. Then the eggs crack. Tiny hatchlings emerge, weighing about 100 grams each. From this moment, they enter a world designed to protect their most valuable asset, their skin. Baby crocodiles begin their lives in tanks that are climate stabilized. Water is filtered daily, humidity and lighting are controlled. The walls are smooth so their skin doesn't get scratched. Stress-free growth means flawless hides. Diet is tightly managed. At first, hatchlings eat ground paste made from chicken, fish, or beef. As they grow, feeding changes to larger cuts. Vitamins and minerals are added to strengthen bones, boost immunity, and improve skin quality. Crocodiles are grouped by size to prevent fighting. A single bite scar can cut the value of a hide in half. That's why farms invest in constant monitoring. Some use digital systems to track growth, feeding, and health for every animal. After 4 to 5 years, the crocodiles reach between 2.2 and 2.6 meters. This is harvest size. Out of thousands raised, only a fraction will produce perfect A-grade hides. These are the animals destined to become $50,000 handbags. Let's talk about the processing stage. Once crocodiles reach the right size, usually between 2.2 and 2.6 meters, they are transported to licensed processing facilities. Every step is regulated under government guidelines to ensure compliance with animal welfare and product quality standards. Humane immobilization is critical. If an animal thrashes or gets stressed, its hide can bruise, scratch, or tear. Even a single scar on the belly can downgrade a skin from luxury grade to food leather, reducing its value by thousands of dollars. That's why workers are highly trained, often using surgical precision to handle the animals. The belly is the prize. Unlike the back, which has hard, bony scutes, the abdominal area has smooth, symmetrical scales that fashion houses want. When the skin is removed, it is cleaned immediately, salted, and placed in cold storage rooms. These hides are fragile and must be preserved quickly before being shipped to tanneries. Each skin is graded. Grade A means unblemished, with symmetrical patterns. Grade B and C are downgraded for shoes, belts, or other mid-range items. Only Grade A skins make it to Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and Gucci workshops. And here's the surprising part. One handbag often requires 2 or even 3 hides, perfectly matched for scale symmetry. Next, tanning and preparing the leather. The journey of the hides continues thousands of kilometers away. Most are sent to Italy or France, home to some of the world's finest tanneries. These tanneries have been perfecting exotic leather treatment for centuries. The tanning process is complex and time-intensive. First, the hides are soaked to remove salt. Then comes liming, where chemicals soften the skin and remove unwanted proteins. After that, the tanning itself stabilizes the collagen fibers, making the hide durable and resistant to decay. Finally, coloring and finishing bring out the luxurious look. Each tannery uses guarded recipes to achieve different textures, softness, and shades. Some handbags require a glossy finish, others a matte look. This can take months of work. The cost reflects the process. A single premium crocodile hide can fetch between $10,000 and $15,000 before leaving the tannery. Multiply that by the 2 or 3 hides needed per bag, and the raw material alone can exceed $30,000 before a single stitch is made. After tanning, the hides arrive at luxury workshops in Paris, Milan, and other fashion capitals. This is where raw leather becomes one of the most expensive handbags in the world. Artisans trained for years work with precision tools. Cutting the leather is like solving a puzzle. The scales must align perfectly. If the symmetry is off, the bag loses value. Each cut is planned to maximize the usable area of the hide. Stitching is done by hand, not machine. The saddle stitch, used by Hermes, requires 2 needles moving in opposite directions through each hole. It takes up to 20 or 30 hours to assemble a single bag. Mistakes are not tolerated. Even a slight misstitch can mean rejection. Brands like Hermes, Louis Vuitton, and Gucci maintain strict quality control. Only flawless bags reach boutiques. Those with imperfections are destroyed, not discounted. This deliberate scarcity drives up demand and ensures that waiting lists can stretch for years. Why does a crocodile handbag cost $50,000? The answer lies in economics, branding, and scarcity. The farming process is expensive. Hatcheries, feed, veterinary oversight, and climate control cost millions each year. Tanning in Europe adds thousands more per hide. Skilled artisans demand high wages. By the time a bag is completed, production costs are already enormous. But what pushes the price into the tens of thousands isn't only cost, it's branding and controlled scarcity. Luxury houses release limited quantities each year. By making the product rare, they increase desire. Auction results show the effect. In 2017, a Himalayan crocodile Birkin sold for over $300,000 at a Christie's auction. Some limited editions appreciate in value faster than gold. Buyers know that a crocodile handbag isn't just fashion, it's an investment asset. Crocodile farming doesn't waste. The entire animal is used. The meat is processed in licensed facilities. Cuts like tail fillet, ribs, and backstrap are rich in protein, low in fat, and high in omega-3. In Australia, crocodile steaks appear in high-end restaurants. In Thailand, whole crocodiles are roasted and sold at street food markets. In China, crocodile meat is cooked in soups and hot pots. Exports are growing. In 2022, Australia shipped over 40 metric tons of crocodile meat, mainly to Asia and Europe. The global market treats crocodile as an exotic, healthy protein source. The byproducts also matter. Crocodile fat is processed into oils and creams for the cosmetics industry. Bones and teeth are turned into jewelry or souvenirs. Farms also diversify into ecotourism. Visitors pay to tour hatcheries, see feeding shows, and even hold baby crocodiles. This creates additional revenue and educates the public on conservation. Luxury crocodile handbags spark fierce ethical debate. On one side are conservationists and industry supporters. On the other, animal welfare activists and consumers who reject exotic leather entirely. Critics argue that raising and killing sentient animals for fashion is wrong, regardless of how regulated the process is. They see crocodile farms as prisons, where intelligent reptiles live only to become status symbols. Animal rights campaigns have pressured major fashion houses. Some brands like Chanel have stopped using exotic skins entirely. But supporters counter with conservation gains. Before regulated farming, poaching nearly wiped out wild crocodiles. Today, farm-based production reduces pressure on wild populations. With eggs collected under quotas, adult crocodiles remain in the wild, helping ecosystems thrive. Indigenous communities also benefit. Royalties from egg collection provide steady income, jobs, and incentives to protect wetlands. Luxury brands invest heavily in traceability systems. Skins are tagged, tracked, and audited. This ensures buyers know where each handbag came from. Supporters call this ethical luxury, but the debate continues. Can a crocodile handbag ever be ethical if it requires taking a life? If the process is so controversial, why do people still buy $50,000 handbags? The answer lies in psychology and economics. For many, it's about status. A crocodile Birkin or Kelly is instantly recognizable. Carrying one signals wealth, exclusivity, and power. In some cultures, it is a sign that the owner has reached the top. For others, it's about investment. Unlike most fashion items that lose value, rare crocodile handbags often appreciate. A limited edition Hermes Himalayan Birkin has sold for more than $300,000 at auction. Some buyers treat these bags like art or stocks, storing them in safes and reselling them years later at higher prices. Luxury is also about scarcity. When Hermes releases only a handful of crocodile handbags each year, demand skyrockets. Waiting lists can last years. Some clients are even refused, keeping the product exclusive to an elite circle. The attraction is undeniable. For buyers, these handbags aren't only accessories. They are financial assets, cultural statements, and personal trophies. The question is whether their value outweighs the ethical cost. From eggs collected in remote wetlands to tanneries in Europe and workshops in Paris, crocodiles travel a long path to become $50,000 handbags. Along the way, entire industries benefit. Farms create jobs. Indigenous communities earn royalties. Conservation programs protect wild populations. And luxury houses profit from exclusivity. But this journey raises questions. Should fashion still depend on exotic skins in the modern era? Are crocodile handbags symbols of cultural achievement or symbols of cruelty? Now it's your turn. Would you ever own a crocodile handbag or eat crocodile meat, knowing the process behind it? Or should luxury brands leave these animals in the wild? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand. If this story gave you something to think about, subscribe to this channel for more real stories about how everyday items are made. And don't stop here. Click the playlist on screen to keep watching. Each video will show you another hidden journey behind the products you see every day.